All right, me church amunyina mamunyina kwaba eba the announcer newspaper so me din edida Fred. And then you make us saying bibi ekoso come there and koso krema ne how I ebeko yi. Yes ya be dwendwen nsem bi ekoso ewo o my Ghana mu enti bebi a wo bia no wo ho kwan se dwumadie no o share video no ma wuni oben wo no so no onya bi hwe mo hwe ya dwumadie mo share live ewo YouTube the announcer newspaper ewo YouTube at the same time mo share live ewo Facebook the announcer newspaper ewo Facebook me din edida Fred yes ya ensem bebre wo ho app me de ebrem enti bebi obi a wo bia no also obetimi a share video na ma wuni oben wo no so no wonya bi a share ene NDC Ora Mahama the lawyers omone Nana Akufo-Addo lawyers omokohia mu den e Supreme Court na se wani na nsa okachre na ano hyepaye na Supreme Court omokogina yi nyina na se hye omokogina yi nyina no koyes NDC amanyokuo de issues bi akoja court no a wo masem omo kire ni se omo pese court no inspect evidence electoral commission and I say original copies declaration declare results no original copies no on be some inspect into you know na e court so kaya ura Mahama odi kan fale motion bi say o person wonya copies original copies ewo niam bi akoso ewo Supreme Court electoral commission some of makanyina ne declaration of the results in the account on original copies nana adeno the ekoso no yakasa copies I don't know oko online at said there mini bi Ishmael Muhammad atro no so ko online copies no e online obetimi akọ print enton chen so baby ekoto about police stations one ne collation centers ni bibia no original copies no one say you find say who call baby kotadia you throw receipt right receipt no metron some who receipt na mo say ase ne na carbon hyehyɛ ase na bia print we ase no sa copies ni nyina no obia party representative bia call police station or be including the petitioner including Mahama omo sa copy ni bi at the same time electoral commission no one original and omo nyina so what photocopy and as a carbon paper and as no copy never ban and the political party representatives no obia what it obia dia won ya dia the course wo police station ho and a collation center ho and a baby omo to about the course no eno no obia copy obia what it into when you new and anya dia sununku bi and anya dia bi a obi won chen a obeka say oh na ne copy si dia be na musuro ntia electoral commission momfa original ne ma bontin ye ka bibia mofre bi say relevancy any necessity emremu no de ntia opese electoral commission omodi original copies ne ban e was ultimate demonstrate emma obie hu elisa mo pe copies a mo call electoral commission website bibia wo ho obenya bi ahwe and this was there be Mahama lawyers no mo pe copy internet judges ni ko share Supreme Court judges no enipa nso ni nyina no mo boss ase ni guye enti omo anya antum say o mema ho kwan ama ko inspect copies na secretary ni nyina ni say I say obviously you can catch am say Mahama oni evidence enti court no won ono court hono no okope evidence okope evidence we gina so aka say oh I obviously kan ye krenya we ye krenya omo ankasa ni evidence enti omo koso so evidence afiri amanfo ho e wo court enti no mani baby no enti de ekoso bia no adofo dem sanity na ewie ya muslim witnesses yenim maako enum na moka asem wo etie mo kokota na mo de ba mienu ene koye esedum katia ena eye pese white na mo de ono ekoye esedum katia mo de ne koye wo so ya witness abato no kra no figure Mahama nya ye esedum katia so wonim o de calculator bobo afi na akoto so sei afi figure so a we isunya ya esedum katia so wonim na na do so wonim electoral commission figure no so onim cha say court no kwa ni nim de okoye wo court at the same time yanhwe ne nsem okoke kan ye nyina no ye de ntimi enka ho asem sese ba wo a wo hwe mo tibi otutu bi kaso na wo hwe white so kwatena ase a enora wo mo di kan kama ye nyina ye te ase se electoral commission ena esuma mo se wo mo enko Mahama ho enko ka electoral commissioner no Mensa say results no discrepancies bi abam eninti wo mo nko na wo mo ne Mahama nko confile ni de ka ho mo nko tena ase na wo nko kasa na de wo bia no wo mo resolve asem no meanwhile already kra no electoral commissioner da enyo ne ne kasa aye according to wo so one ne kasa aye ene wonne mo ne Jojo Metununu okojina akota daka mo se da bi on de enyo ne no na ne Jojo Metununu so say electoral commission ni omo nyina ne kasa aye na adenti na ono wo ma megina box no eno so ye asema ye nti ase enti omo awo mo de omo choice omo anenim de omo ye na say omo court na omo for omo witnesses ne mmera na asem na omo di na omo to aso ni asem na court ho no asem omo kokan ye ne say omo witness no lawyer ne say witness ba ku bi on person omo de ne ba potential witness no o yare a sa yare no omo nim da no ho beto no se ne he na ene ya se ne he na ene ya omo timi nka no public mob ehu yare potia ha no na so o yare seriously a che say wo muntimi hu yare no se de esiti na je say adofo wo so se ma epie ye enonom se wo yare na wo hu delay tactics no delay tactics pa etibo amahu se de delay tactics no esiti oh sir it is an identity wo mo sheda kreti eniema bi a ebema abato no results na say court na sem na mo so mo challenge say obi awie mu no na akoche na say omo drag omo fit na delay process no enti de ekoso no enti enei IMPP wo mo lawyers ba akwa okasama party no na say na do lawyers ba akwa okasama no okasa ewo akan kasam momienti asema asame bi okay
abusafo yabada mo ase ene eye eda atoso enkono yehia wo eye court dem ha nene ne course yenya yenim eye petitioner bibia no mo so mo onyina so omo evidence omo onyina so na eye opinion sedun ketia no ebedi adanse eye ma former president Mahama na no obabetena adakam ye toto na no ye hu se ne nsem ni nyina no ensisi so enron so eye opinion pesa white enso abetena adakam eno so ye nya ye hu ni ye ko ye se ne nsem ni nyina no atonsuom enti adanse bi a omuni enti ene ye de krata ba be to court anim se eye krata omo ankasa omo bi dada sanse emra no eye CI 127 no ehye isi keten se woto aba no police station wie na se ye kenkan ye hwegu ho na ye de nyina no egu krata so a eye parties obi bi o take part bia na musini no ehwo behia se obenya krata ni bi ebiem se eba constituency so a emra no shaketen se krata na ye bunkunta aguso ni atse obia ema onya ye no eno nso emra no hye isi keten se obia party bia na musini no ebenya eno nso copy sa ena oba region so a etie ena oba national so a etie eye petitioner eba no wankasa nkratai onya bi onka ba bia sada awo ne krata ode aba to court mu enne omo say 275 constituencies no yemfa ho krata nyina ma omo easy emfa ma omo ebiem all the 16 regions no easy emfa ho krata nyina ma omo ansana yeba national so yemfa ho krata nyina ema omo na abusuafo ne ehu hia ye pa ne se san krata nyina so omo obi dada ejene ise obehwa kasatintin wo hoy entoponko
Debbie
twene so animu da ha Yamunche mu asempa ho etia etinya kasa tinti don hwere no ene nsam ho beka asabia ye ntwantia no ena eno beka se owo asem etia na wo hwe easy lawyer na wo hwe eye president na Akufo-Addo lawyer nsam mo kan na gina mra no so omo se sankrata nyina omo obi ina bie mu so no omo hu hia omo ntimi enda na di se hu be hia se o se wei no ye de ma omo ɛhɔ ɛna Supreme Court ɛkɔ ɛna ɔsabae mpanimfoɔ bae ɔmo nyinaa mpanimfoɔ nso no nyinaa adwen ɛkɔ benkurom ɛna ɔmo nyinaa se ɛyɛ saa nsɛm yi a mo se yɛmfa mo na mpɛ sɛ mo hwɛ nkrataa mu yi nea di kan mo wɔ saa nkrataa no bi dada nea ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛho hia no mo ntumi ɛnkyerɛeɛ nea ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa mo nsan ɛnka ɔmo petition no mu sɛ Ekrata no monsanka. It is a woko eye yemramu Evidence Act now. Eye section 166 ebena di pefe. Sekrata bia yebe maun ebie send your protocol se me kind carbonized copy no. Sakrata ne de mawa ni original no ene ni nyina eye pe. A court egitum say ya dance here. Enu nti no court mpanimfo nso yi ebo eye nsem no enyina eguye. Abusia mame maninda na di say e kamna ko say eye petitioners eye former president Mahama oni dance here into court dem ho no person odi ni ti ebo dem mu no pa dance here enti oni dance here enti no na no ye busa say na mu ankasa mu yem coalition no eye former president Mahama onya say opani asie bi nketia say my lord I have not brought that figure to court chese sankuntabuo no man fa ma court
enti adafo
go to my farmer court. Now, once the president, I would jam man so on your say, and so nim. Nanado the answer on your say, and so nim. Na total no swear a say, and so nim. Eti and na asama a question court about Nina Gunasamba ko see ya.
Okay, enti na asama ekosi court about sa and 70 nyina gu. Chuma di mo me live. Ewo YouTube, the announcer newspaper, so Facebook. The announcer newspaper so sema koso ewo Ghana ena yedi ebremono na yanhwe asemi guso koi on Jojo metu nunu okoho ebi right baby a wo mokoye collation center national collation center no okokoduru ho na okoye no ono ne Percy White ena ekoye right a woman call ye doctor woman in an coach na Mahama nim said National Collation Center on be said about one in your movie uncle. So me and we in the say electoral commission or more documents on which say electoral commission ask or more or catch their woman say woman calling Mahama and go kasa. Actually, almost say electoral commission instructed woman and also so a man a woman book instruction no a man. And the electoral commission is need to me so be instructed a year political party representative our what national coalition center we need to me no if we say will be by independently or by protected a year or no party it is very surprising say electoral commission be instructed a court na feel them ho na de be koso o dem ho no uhu de koso o party representative de be koso bia no uhu enye den enka at the same time we character be command electoral commission character and electoral commission so mun sanka because mun saka character bia or some receipt so a sign so say what they are the official document what the official document come obia I was say the panel trust receive date abere bibia ye adwuma na aye be contact the won bia na omo e de aba abonte na Jojo Metununu oni sem tro ni bi twetwe nkobo abra sa incident no e course no o kan sem bi efa amunte Jojo Metununu.
But Jean Mensah, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White.
She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White, honestly, the question was the electoral commissioner, one can't direct to, no catch Jojo Metununu. Now, on electoral commission, no Enkasa direct, no catch no instruction. Jojo Metununu said, she told me and the other colleague. So both of them, right? Mommy and saying TB now for Yingu Assembly.
But Jane Mensah, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White, to send a message to John Mahama.
All right. I don't want to say we are very simple, right? Where the Amoti and where Yakasam Quetri. Or say, electoral commissioner, J. Mensah, one show good faith. Asema Jojo Metununu Oka Enon. It's in a good faith now, Oka Nina, and he said, was Osmano, and Professor White, they said, woman co na woman, opinioni Mahama encoding como, emfa, and yama be a moon, you know. Na uncoding common via, or moba, the womb be not or more assign at Wasso. Sabe Pepena or can you? And it's they actually yajin and say, Papa is so bad now, Dakamuno at Dakamuno. Was it J. Mensah? Na J. Mensah, where electoral commission. One can't hear or no, no catch rare. Yeah, the other person or they know. Just I'll catch the Jojo Metununu. Jojo's interview, our yeah, and about watching them. Pen interview, no, or no such as say. Electoral commissioner Jane Mensah, catch rare one no. And then Professor White, they say discrepancy in friends, they say. But
Jane Mensah, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White, to send a message to John Mahama. After leaving, she turned off her phone.
She turned off her phone?
Yes. I will take you to my car. I will show you the several phone calls I made to her, and she did not pick. She did not pick it. So when I finally got to John's house, then suddenly somebody calls me and says, but Rojo, you told me you were going to inform John about a potential meeting that would take place between the NDC's representatives and the EC, where we would catalog the different types of fraud or issues that we had for them to be addressed. But she's announcing the results. So basically, she got the two of us out of the East.
All right. And where you Jojo Metununu now or can semfa electoral commission J. Mensah, say J. Mensah, Esma when Dr. Pesa White, say woman ko na woman Ura Mahama, enko kasa, na woman kasa we are the woman na womo aba abeka. They you say electoral commissioner only said to me no crase or catch them say monko na mone Ura Mahama enko kasa emra. Only said to me no. And today, 2 million no Gina so or catch them say one more enco. A was them no, I be electoral commission. Per electoral commission lawyer no cry, my young say. Omukra no woman said the name a year, or moon said any gene a year. Mensa Asia ending come or empty. In what sense, what capacity? And about my mini Gina so a catcher, but I just said the moment I said my batch, my mom said, Jojo Metununu say. Electoral commissioner, J. Mensah small or no, or catch there or no, any Dr. Pesa White said, woman co now woman name electoral commission cocasa. Meanwhile, Dr. Pesa White is what now? I could not that or say, Mamma can't or no ancasa, but or catch any other colleague. It was Obi Casa, no Cassa. Obi Casa, me. Any war, meaning now switching I be right. I didn't see all of a sudden, or say already what can be action. Now Jojo Metununu, so I don't know which other can that's I said no, or interesting. Quajo Pong Kroma or no, any year, information minister designate. Now, and then the course, no, what is some what actually ever protocol.
Inspection of documents generally is allowed in litigation. But it is not a matter that you have as of right. It is at the discretion of the court. And you have to convince the court or establish something before the court for the court to grant it. You have to prove that there is some necessity for you to be given leave to inspect those documents, because among other things, it will be necessary for the fair disposal of the matter. Without it, there will not be a fair disposal of the matter. And that it may also be necessary to reduce the cost of litigation. You heard Mr. Chachuchikata on his feet for about an hour, trying to establish the necessity for which they should be granted leave to inspect these documents. And you heard counsels on the side of the first and second respondents argue that no necessity has been demonstrated because all of those documents are already in the custody of the petitioner. And the petitioner has not demonstrated before the court that there's anything wrong with the copies that he has, and therefore asking to inspect the originals, because you have the documents already. Indeed, some of those documents were attached by the petitioner himself to his petition, some of the witnesses as well to their witness statements. And so the principle, the legal principle of necessity...
Maybe I'm out for draw my attention, you know. Also, baby, I errors it to be back. Into sanity, into Dino, almost say, Joe, Rojo Metununu, yeah, Rojo Metununu, yeah. Into also errors to me, baby, and to you know, Mr. Media, technical and slip of tongue, into errors to me, baby, and to what we said this here.
For fair disposal of the matter has not been demonstrated. And there has been no argument even made about a reduction in the cost of litigation. We also noticed, principally, that as the case moves on, and particularly with this application, the petitioner is now seeking to invite the court to breach a time-tested rule in litigation that he who alleges must prove. You come to court with your own case and your burden of proof is on you. It is when you have satisfied what we call a case, you have made a case in law, that the burden of proof now shifts onto the respondents or the defendants to respond. Indeed, if by the time you are done, and for those of you who are court correspondents, you know, if by the time you are done submitting what you think is a case, the legal threshold of making a case under the law has not been made, the respondents or the defendants have the opportunity to move a motion for no case because you have not made a case. So it is when you have moved a case and satisfied the legal threshold that the burden of proof shifts. We are observing that this is an attempt to shift the burden through the back door. Now, the court, as you observed, rose to consider the various arguments and came with a ruling. Before then, plaintiff had made an argument that if you have nothing to hide, why don't you produce the documents? Those documents are even on the internet. They have been published already. They are within the custody of the petitioner. So don't be swayed by this propaganda line that if you have nothing to hide, why are you not producing the documents? The documents have been made available. They are already in the custody of the petitioner. They are in the custody of all other political parties or candidates who took part in this election. They are in the custody of the second respondent. And they have not demonstrated any necessity for it. In the end, the court ruled, and I just want to quote what the court said through the respected Chief Justice. Said the applicant has not demonstrated the necessity that must be met. And that indeed, on record, they have admitted that they have the documents. No proper case has been made for this application, which we have spent a number of hours on today. And if you look at section, I think 166 of the Evidence Act, they have not raised issues of authenticity even. And therefore, it is not the 1 hour, submissions and English that would invoke the court to exercise its discretion in this matter. You must ground it in law and prove same. We are of the view that the pendulum swings back to the petitioner, who had advertised that he has 5 witnesses who will give evidence to show that nobody got 50%. We've heard the first 2. The jury is out on that one. If there are 3 other witnesses, now will be the good time for them to either submit those witnesses to adduce this evidence that shows they are supporters that they told they had won and then they came to change the story. But that will show them that indeed nobody won. Or if they are not able to put further witnesses before the court, then they would have to bring down their case. And then the respondents will also have to now move to their next line of action. We think it's generally been a good day in court for justice. And we look forward to the directions of the court on Friday.
Anafonum kwajo upon enkonoma and I'm say or chere and simuno or no and a year minister designate or no na year information minister designate or chere and simuno Osaka bayan anado danko kufuado the team no the legal team na kwa bonten kokasano okahumbi na or chere and simu Mom say baby errors etimiba errors timiba e wo wiase make us say one will say Edino Eddie Rojo Metal Nunu, right? Rojo. Also, Anofo Mekoka Jojo Metal Nunu. It's a chain of and I may correct this parities, you know. I'm a mamma saying yes, and I may patch the na may patch the Rojo Metal Nunu. It is a pepe. It's a big error now, me and I may correct me who say, no. It's when it is a real set. Obia to me error. Emani ye. Obia to me from so. And it's Rojo Metu Nunu or say interview be or grantee was say electoral commission. It was the same correct free Jojo no Rojo Metu Nunu or say a year electoral commissioner Jane Mensa or smart or catch there or no any Dr. White say or Momo Modern na omane Mahama nkohia na omon kyerɛkyerɛ niema bim wo se okoba aye no omo kona fa omo frɛ na omfa kɔ biem omo frɛ na omfa afei wo mo kɔ ekoduru hɔ no omo hwɛ ya oboba aba no question is say makoko represent eye Mahama ego strong group moya mo party mon ko na moya party representatives amowo hɔ NDC fo amowo hɔ no ekwadonko party fo hɔ CPP ayi hɔ MPP hɔ enti no matter the circumstances no mummy enu nyina betimi afiri dem hɔ na mako ebra obi anhwe machi na moba na ne ma ye basa wo machi a hwan na mobeka ho asem enti die be ne ka wo mo a wo mummy enu nyina afiri hɔ meanwhile Rojo Metal Nunu am ye who say eye electoral commissioner Jane Mensa esma wono ene Dr. White so munko no money Mahama enkohia na small mono or so catch or ask omo witness statements I don't ask a trade you almost instructed na eye day na Georgina Mensa I instructed me said Daddy Fred ujina ho ema asumasi na the original ho man no e wom se ujina ho man de ba me suma ebere so ofiri ho kwa bibia betimasi wo wachi anything na wo ho say oh bobby bia ho ba say we are polling agent na wo hwa abato so na wo ho na obi abeka to say me sma say koje dokunu wo ba bi yeden ebra ofiri ho kwa de omo be ye no police station wo be hu sabu anything na yede wakọ gina ho say monko na monko protect Mahama ewo ho o say electoral commissioner no acting good faith ben brofo ben no good faith ben onye wabusu ani onye onu onye wo hwe o ye ogina ho ma Republic of Ghana and execute her duty on behalf of Republic of Ghana. And small was it official or unofficial? Small obet masmamo na your official documentation ben the waso sam power small and your question am me musabusa is it Rojo Metal Nunu asemo kan mun senti bi.
But Jane Mensa, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had.
She told me and the other colleague I had. And to me, I don't know much now on the air catch them. Yes, sir. Then Professor Dr. White, what kind of baby said on the kind of quarter that can you say, and you're not Jane Mensa, a catcher no catcher, Rojo Metal Nunu. Or catcher Rojo Metal Nunu, on slip of tongue and as I baby. Ain't it errors to me back?
But Jane Mensa, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White, to send a message to John Mahama. After leaving, she turned off her phone.
She turned off her phone?
Yes. I will take you to my car. I will show you the several phone calls I made to her, and she did not pick. She did not pick it. So when I finally got to John's house, then suddenly somebody calls me and says, "But Rojo, you told me you were going to inform John about a potential meeting that would take place between the NDC's representatives and the EC, where we would catalog the different types of fraud or issues that we had for them to be addressed." But she's announcing the results. So basically, she got the two of us out of the East.
So, there's Moyan Kura, Sabi Kafrache. Sabi Kafrache. It's Moyan Kura, so be back at Muse, baby, I'm one moon filiho, Namunko, not also MP coin be so announce elections. To Moyan Kura. Samako, Mako Jinaho, Ama Ura Mahama. Mako Jinaho, Mobota, any say. Mo kwako boa sebe ya obi anuabam ana obi anye basabasa bia ewabam na ebeye dan ena watima soma mo se monko monko na ampa mo mo afiri ho moko na mo afiri hoko na mo te ya obuba aba asem we want to be that anadwuma na asem we who party representative asman Roger Metununu ne Dr. White. Or my smam is among Conamo representing or more strong group. Mosamako for a car, some of Conny Mahama or Casa. Nana de Bentina Mufri them Hokoi. Oh, Sanyama air cosono. Ya dear, it was a Ghana mind. Upia man and the Edao. As I go Supreme Court, Yanina Yasha say a tear say you. And then Mama witnesses in Ramekasa. Mokofa, Monsieur Yenum, Namokofa, me no buy. After as some of Momra Mecano, Mum Pesa semi yet Tanaso cancelling, the Piamo de motion, amendment, and away, the Piamo de different issue in Echo Macoti, Secoti in ye. It the answer a court to the crab every year, Sassam Nakasas and Neviano. Oh, not so. What must me walk around? Bunry. Because the key aspect of woman is said, most about to be a winning, not a pie. I said, look at Yaqua Tenasi, and the calculating money could see as in so. Now, Bama say a pie, but witness is in no Aquatanasi. I didn't think I want to quiet for so about a pie, and Tragana, my mamma. 2 witnesses are caught, and Kamukoi. E ka mo kwachire de nti aba no epaye mokoduru ya mutimi ka hwenchire Ghana ma mokoduru ya musema mokeka enti so mokoduru na musema de avreko bebere ni se and this lawyer chachuchi kata e kwanya wa sheda e pese wo ku Supreme Court judges ni bi anim ase e ya de wo se e condemn Utimika judge is an asema waka ye irrelevant. Hey, oh lawyer. So what you na dear do? So why a day you million near Yamasam Nameka? It's only a Supreme Court judge so moody asem. Now what about that city now? Now because I said no in presence of them. Aside that one, lawyer said tree a bench. Ever quine say also a question witnesses. And now more crosses witnesses questions. Lawyers need busa with judges need busa witness and I'm not teach them questioner. I hear Dr. White no questioner. Jachuchi kata wanchaya or say judge you know harass witness no. And young or man shed that use words to be say be ya case in the baby you know. Na omaka say I judges in the crown or man fair to them or man say judges in the crown. Moniama would demonstrating or court to know. Yet the Yankupon say, Yenina ye should be life, oh TV so. A Kayan Shabia, a Kadi City and Komukoba, or Mobet Cocoon Samono. Oh, no, my country. They said they say, Chachuchikata, it's because electoral commissioner or cuckoo resource no the buying. Electoral Commission or tonight them full results no. Why the bet my side? But polling stations one I'm calling. But party representatives were and ya Ghana for and ya a party representatives will move free country be Ghana for. That's what I say. What we call polling stations in beer and make sure some certify and send a year to be beer too. One man can say you must actually say near Massey, and can say be beer, come, and it's some of you do. And this a man you cool or Mopotaye Mahama, Botaya, one we and say. Seven young man discredited institution beer what Ghana. Opposite dear beer what Ghana, a some bono, almost go at the end of the The Electoral Commission is a reputable institution, independent institution. About to conducting it free, fair, and transparent. Omo kase, omo conducting about on behalf of we behalf. They're going to be free and fair. Come on. Electoral Commission, yama omoyen. Mahama no pe kwan bi so pese. Omo go Electoral Commission any mase. Say Electoral Commission kra no, then awanya fair or ye bias or ye say, mo proof the enti awaye bias. Mo say, oh, now the Danko Kufuado the yere, kura na down for the Electoral Commission. What do you mean? It will be a down for you being clear, let us bias. Nabusi and your beat and bias, Electoral Commission or represent Ghana. Or yeah, Juma on behalf of Ghanaians. Charlotte say, Mahama appointed. Mahama Lucy ultimate man. What my family? It's sanity. So be Electoral Commissioner. No matter who the person is, and no matter family affiliation of the person, ultimately change the cause, the will of the people of the country. Ghana for the Kotuaba. And a Ghana for Kotuaba. About when they said, look at Yamiati, as I say, about when you bono ewo polling stations. Zano catch you. Or say about when you bono polling stations. You want to catch us about my way. Mama mukro for Kotigu abontin, a stable Ghana peace. And Yama mukro for Koyen abontino, instead of some baby apologizing to Ghanaians. So, Monya man is apologizing. As we are to some, and in Yama mukro for Koyen wa Ghana. Ghana for me, Ghana for witness here. And it's Ghana, my dear Kosi. Obia man and now. Now, all who say. En kontompo adia enye no kware kwan na ndisi fo mba no mabeka kire because mo ka kire Ghana for say Mahama win enu ti Mahama kura no Mahama ebinum friend president elect nyina e Mahama for mo ngu abonten e koka say no Mahama no peace na mo pa kire sen enu mo kojina akota masema be 19 mosema mo ka bia esisi so Mosima moka insisi so mum proof ntre Ghana man say genti amoka say Mahama we no muntimi nka hwe ya de ya wa ha no ye frɛ yeso ye independent body enti ye niam ye bia na ye independently right me sabe bo audio sa any video sa Ghana man mu be hu ase no kati anim mu be hu otoko no anim Mube Mahama anim, mube hu nyina esebo bia kan ye no mube tibi eti me be bobiem na mahwe na fe mahwe de obia kan ye na enne de enti omo court na de omo ye wo court no so no mu nyina macha ase na maje.
Thank the electorate for giving us a working majority in parliament, 140 seats in parliament, which is a majority, and no attempt should be made to subvert that. I've looked at the results we've collated so far, and I'm excited. I'm happy with the results. And we've won in 10 regions out of 16, and the Ghanaian people have expressed confidence in us. We would resist any attempt to subvert the will of the people.
Have won this election by some 6,166,385, and that constitutes 50.15%.
Allow me to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to you for your tremendous support, which you expressed overwhelmingly and convincingly at the polls. There's no doubt that Ghanaians from every region of this great nation of ours voted for change. And we did so in both the presidential and parliamentary elections.
He has won 141. That puts us in a clear majority and will be giving President Mahama the needed majority in parliament to be able to conduct his business as president. What the clear majority...
Presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, who is the president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will address the nation and speak to issues pertaining to the presidential results declared by the Jim Mensah Bosmanasare-led Electoral Commission. That's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2 is that the MPP still has parliamentary majority as we speak. The NDC, the National Democratic Congress, is still holding on to its parliamentary majority, as our General Secretary stated. As we speak, we know that we have won 140 seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, our collation so far indicates that our presidential candidate, President John Dramani Mahama, is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission will very soon come out to declare him the next president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
Let me repeat. Let me use this opportunity to, as a matter of urgency and importance, call on the outgoing president, President William Akufo-Addo, to concede defeat in the interest of our sovereignty, in the interest of the sanctity of our democracy, in the interest of the very people that he claimed he wants to fight for. He must concede defeat, and it's very important. Let me
declare presidential results. Apart from chairperson of Electoral Commission. But Ntiasia Semunyane say Electoral Commission no fa presidential results no free soro emesi form. Every the various polling stations bia so you declare results no. And until the results are actually declared at the polling station. It is a Electoral Commission for declare no ho now wo copies ya. Okay, can nyina si animu a wo so timi hu figures ya. Eko nationally. Enti ye ka say ye figures ya pick from Electoral Commission polling stations across the country no kire say President Mahama odi animu a obedi nkunim. Na the AC our parliamentary level no there. Enye ye ni aye ye ni aka. Results are pick from Electoral Commission returning officers ya wo mo declare yankofo no winners already no 141 there. Yansaka. Enu nti ne ka say control parliament. Enti no
On this note, let me announce to all our supporters that you are free to jubilate. Chobe, you are free to express your excitement because the NDC is forming the next government of the Republic of Ghana.
I don't know. Afisma hu obiya ni meboa. Muhu Mahama ni. Muhu otukona ni. Ese dunkatia sami jamfi moti omunyana. Ese dunkatia etre sabatro polling station hono. Ehoni pekweni aba. Edenti Omo de omo figure so manya kire se Mahama obedi animu nyesa. Otoko no de ono kra de atimaka figure wo manya 50.15%. And it's amount for chassis and jubilate. Right? Some amount for chassis and quabonting. Yawa. Ora Mahama on the figures are when you're not say, Naniaji Hompa, now my winning 6 regions. I say, near Madana Quim. When you are more resources, and one I'm collecting more resources. Based on my polling station agents or more various polling stations one. And I'm also more the money no just my win. It's mon crop fonting wa bontain na contributed. Meanwhile, so not enter sa. And what deceive public you say. More the fake news way akwa bontain. Most mon crop fonting wa bontain na contributed. And don't see inu safu ni ba bontain be kan say. Ono de when him say ora Mahama when any castle who say Mahama the economy Mahama na akra declare no president non form para government enti monim se malusu na mo anweni na mo pese mo kire se mo na maweni no say e offense kase pa a chance obi kure yeku a serious thing because the more you know ye won't say news cool na na mo ye o say we ntimi Emma man 40 guabonting a demonstrations are would drop all because of mo Ezma Mokana bonting. A Kamoko Courty, mo ye serious party. Kamoko Courty, Nanka, what demonstrate ya Ghana, myself. Mo video ya mi bo ye and some Mokana mo video no. Some Semana Mokana no na moko dinner di ewa court. The Mosama calculate. Oh, took on because of what can boom or many 50.015 and no call the court. Nanka or the court. Nanka what the pensions in na. Mahama said in South Canadian. I would timidate myself to 40 acra to Jan. Nanka Modia court. Mamma for Aquabontia could ye did it been pre-pride. A bit of social question, binum. A bit of yashubinum, yes, sir. If you don't confer all because of Monty. They didn't know Mokoya, if you Ghana, Sikan can also mine at the yard for crown. Or the boy police of one moment maintaining peace and order. Nina, you would near ma, and you no quarry, no more inside the public set or Monkoye. A bit more social media. Now, or more catch that man for say. More when it near Jeffrey Musum, it's Monquabontain, I'm quite the day. Inside the public. Obi grant me to social media so. Now what Timmy at quantum posa electoral commissioner with 20 free Ghana. Abba a cry friend America, New York. Now urban plane now the buy. Plane number C. Obabeduru Yanusono. Bobedru abere say times be any panic to me the dinner to dinner so not and no quarry. It's why I shall say. Omoniama womu and in summer womody to trade. So we are Ghana need now money tax, Sanya Mania, no more for my knee. Ghana can democratic dispensation, ye nimble say. Or mine democracy. Ghana my and your mind democracy now cost ya. A man for Ghana for Abaso say, hey, Ghana dear. Who know democracy dear will be a practice and a kamapai ewa Ghana. And ye may cost ye ewa Ghana. But Kabimami can be air cost ye ewa Ghana. All of a sudden. A dear NDC for a year. In Contompo and in summer and yan quarry or Mukatre Ghana for. Ama as a result of that, you know, credentials are Ghana one of an on it. Sir, democracy dear Ghana they will be losing elections a cry. Kabimami Kabinyama Koso Kama or hand over the my way where you win. I'm a month for a one summer or more Efagana. Sanya Yeno. And it's the abeto dry and nay. More from a witnesses in qua, most of a potential witness of cry, wayari, Nani Yari and Mom Tran Twabonting, When him a brand who beton. Show. It's almost the Omobota Yenani say about to an quiet befaswa or mobile delay processing and unkwana or moye. It's a more delay processing. Step by about one idea, hey, step by a becaution tem dear, there be that. And the processing on a more delay. Step by a bed check now about one intimate cost. And the air cost for Ghana, no, and in the man and this for you. Oh, and chair, I want to see. Or mobile tie delay tactics. Delay tactics. Say, Baya, a betria quite by any say. I was 42 days. So 42 days, you know. And no, there was say, a year quarter of way, and the assembly every. They say 42 days, you met me, and no one. Oh, and we have another question. And this into more medical betrayers are contempo way. Most are court as and front of Mubeka. Now we're a serious political party. A Kamoko court, now come out demonstrate at the Ghana mindset. Yet you can't same way, and pa your court, you could a dear express a yen ye can't any. Omuntimi coca be beer or montio. And some more can ye and some Omubo with Timoki cat. Etu futu go amamfo ani. And there was a police station. And now, you quality resource. And a moma quality mu the area with someone on my way. Mahama crowd or Babaka said, police station, oh, Elmodia, Bibia, Womosaka, or Master Sam, more pinches in a camp to Chimai, South dear. Now, somebody faxa, Mokota wedding. Most evidence. Ekamukwe, more witnesses not substantiated with evidence, facts. Now, more momodi as a more common to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Court to one and more compare evidence. Nobody has supporting with claims. Oh, coca some they are two obiso. What can we cast them? Well, so to be proved, said the American way in America. And so court to one moment, and I will compare evidence. I said, we want to be that. I said, we want to be that. And it's in quantum pono muchacha Ghana mine. And as I say, my dear Bruno, Obia who sampa, or muchan quantum po, and can you more canocrano, Sequamoka, some crana, and career, and go be any one some can. But only evidence, and some of Mokanano, money evidence be among the best substantiating claims. Money are dance here, be among the best. Akase, Madame Senate, Madame Senate. Ain't you was said. Opianya butari na wo hwe niema wo mu ye Ghana mu westi court no time kwa court no time no mu westi enka bia electoral commission akura no bibiye o mu westi ni mireka because o mo se mo kan o mu ni any evidence bi o mu di substantiate na we nyina yi westi time sa na da bia makotena ho na sei na makotena na sei na sei enti adofo no and then the copy court no medical aka say. And this amanyokuo no omuni evidence bia awomo e di substantiate om claims ti Ghana man obia ma nani enna ho se omuni ama awomo ka no so mo evidence kura ko bia ni ho asem ka ho na wo kasa without evidence na mo betutu mfutu egu amanfo ani mo sam so am ka ye enu ti mu na mo nkrofo atigu abonten no so a mo kokota nye no na mo de ko na mo fi say yeah, had any short memory, so what to wanna there be an amount for short memory. Yeah, one any short memory, sir. What I say, it is honest here. Remember, Mammy Coba Swana on Casa Sima Edu Nafe me running up at Merding Tino. When winning, yeah, Casa, yeah, sorry, Aquan, and answer and Mammy more audio we answer.
Bibi imagine wa hakakra. Enya papi obetina addressry pesa white cast and no phone say dumo so 1 month for charges say na efe ba ne sign na o nam kwan so mo frɛ Jomen Salmon Sanka na o dey eno so issue my dream today no because you see na me nam say man ka me ready fi Jenny from UK me chidi so bia ho ye.
All right, Jenny, that was say or say or no so be sure na Jenny kakra because most na mo phone si nyina dundundundu na ye dey and most of fra e bi on beka so mutuna kan mo munya charger the charge. All right, you were able to share live on YouTube the announcement newspaper so and on Facebook the announcer newspaper so me ko ba so ama no sima edu na fe owie pe na ya run up obetimi de o message abreme o message bia no obetimi de abreme na me nim mere kra nti your message in 2 minutes na men check kra be 130 pepe o se me ponti me so ya your message no 2 minutes pe na ya ma okwan na frɛ number wo de message ne beba no me the number no air to screen no so na fe mo ko say this ba so ba try to say
Daddy, Yaminadum.
yo bibi e koso
Good evening, good evening.
yeah Joshua aso good afternoon
Juma the man, woman, you know, oh, Lord have mercy.
Easy.
Oh,
Yeah,
you. No, that's so called to but I was working in between since somebody do a while, meant but a chin more call back and make it say. Now, if you say, I don't get here, I'm there, and this phone, or I join you one day. Or beat the war supporters. I'm Mamma Hunia there. And said, don't get here, Metal Nunu, Percy White, Mahama Nala, nephew Addison. What Peter will use this opportunity to retain their position within the party. But I may yelling the members in one cheek, the 1 year, no one's one good network support. In my opinion, also, or their court, there was a bit of bad precedents for these two. Today, Educator was so rude in the dock, same as Percy White. And over there, or your court to my Supreme Court, or your court can say, oh, what a man, my Chief Justice, or quo. And said, look at your quo, no may sort of Tunisa, or you got a challenge lawyer, or a slow, and yet they had the patience to tolerate her. Whereby they should have charged him contempt. And so why the man? Then it looks as if the country is in a way the only 3 arms and the only one working is the executive. The legislature and the judiciary are not making the effort. It's so sad. And we should press away. And then they'll say, oh, I can't wait to get out of this box. Through the mic, yet nothing was said to him. Or what them for court one, in my opinion, they have to set good precedents that if they are not in a court, therefore, to from running yet okay, not on their beat around the bush and get away with it. There are laws in the country, and it should be follow suit. Right, that young rep, and you walk no do. She that walk pray. I will say don't get here. According to videos, Sayashi, as the Mahama, more than the Mahama catch him there. According to only figures, Nessa Kawa correlated, or said that he's ahead. And say don't get here based on that. One look at the same thing. There's this Mahama and your majority in parliament. And to say Mahama will have the majority to form his next government, which is a clear indication or analysis there. You have Mahama has won the elections because what is so what is Mahama where we now Mahama where we now us then own your majority to form the next government. He can only form his next government for us. He has won the elections. Now and use one of them where we. To form his not, how is he then going to form his next government whereas he hasn't won? I would say, one of them expect the lawyer to be said the question, but the one way you someone will be someone. Okay, Sami James declared Mahama as the president-elect. Yet, you people didn't have any figures. And so the figures now, Mahama said, oh, one now, what collect now, or said, or winning, or what him. Mahama said, out of the 16 regions, he has won 10. So where are those figures? And you should tell the whole country that they were just lying in between their teeth. They know what to say. They know what to say to their supporters, and they will follow suit. When now to go and get the way, McKay, what about the what I say as it? And that's what is going on in the country or within the NDSA. It's so pathetic. See that court no more and who here. Some pet them will retain more positions. Or whatever can do, you retain your positions. And a been a metal no. And now you are friend of Pastor White. Pastor White, a core arrogance be a display or what you call yourself a lecture, unfortunately. And John isn't there. What by instructor, whereas the East has no right. Sorry, whereas the East has no right to send anybody from any political party away. Say easy pedo or pass on message kwa no representatives no one. Only one more communicate. No way DB. Us then no our representative ever hop. Never so end this for one of us. And if one museum and support to me more appointing 275 lawyers. I want you share on that day. The one patrol. Now the lawyer sing na war. They say is maybe or it's not a lawyer see you. Why there person white in the metal no more one can't a lawyer in there. Uncle is no man. Say oh what's this instructor? So instruct him okay, what's the effect of a more person, but you were school children on that day. And it's someone why the when instruct more wise what it be. Another one, it's just a calculate sit down activia. They orchestrated lies in Pia. They've decided just come and tell the country. Then the best something the women that work one representative is what budget. Oh, what's more phones, moon each other. Okay, what could the media? Oh, we have to call your baby for 2 hours. We go without charges. You don't know what's going to happen. What's the money charges? Okay, fair enough. And someone to my slave in the mobile what they have that they friend John Mahama. Okay, what you claim in what friend John Mahama? Methodist or free easy or why a regular to prove the number of calls he made. Yet that dead phone was able to wake up for him to use to make calls to the easy. So where from all these lies? This is a clear indication that they are just lying because what's no I got on schooling said you can say true. That's everywhere about what's our friend that mom back court there. More baba did the Robert challenge the declaration. Then why are you in the courtroom? Why are you in the courtroom? Now that was a pink sheet in way now. Okay, why are pink sheets now? The one who is in website, everything is there. Why can't you go there and collect it and compare it to the imaginary pink sheet that Mahama had and check on the figures there if they tally. If they don't, then you go over there. And when you get somewhere, Margaret or someone when I try Attorney General, look at you, a woman standing there lying in between your teeth just for the sake of it for money. And the end is for work action because the whole thing, because questions asked about the total numbers after the declaration. I said it at in there. Next day, how do you know there were manipulate figures? It's in you. So how do you know that the figures that were announced were manipulated?
All right, boss, running up with Simami, no mammy, and I feel
your brother. It is a family figure. The warrior, when I deny you there, warrior to retain their power, their positions within the party. Now, the Mahama Kadaba 2024, and said to get a general secretary, Methodist Superdo, and they are just using that. Not me, you're there, and these supporters, what to me so over there? These people are making fools out of them. No one to more make decision there. No, yes, you said that we can feed you. We are going to change them forever. No one you wants to jump off of a party something now, or by their appetizing or and enticing for feeding to go into it. Because it is just waste of time, waste of taxpayers' money. And most of what go now what person is some agency day or also a being okay, not do criminal one charge in the treason. And they just feel anything that they want to say to the citizens of Ghana. You lost the election, you don't have a case, and therefore to me, they have to start finding ways to dismiss the case. 9 days is too long for this case. The case was too long, 9 days, or at least 10th day. What you know, what close. Now there people look at that. You see, tattoo over there, full of, in my opinion, full of arrogance. Tattoo feeder or castle to the Chief Justice. Meanwhile, your brother no one code tattoo one law. It's not English language. I can't write what they cast. I was all tried the audition, not tried to open control court and put there. All the dog cannot Chief Justice and all the other justices no way. No, it's not like that. It's a kind of forward say court proceedings. One takes no one shall do all what should all look on? No one there, you were jumping. Oh, you can say, Nakasan for Punakasa, Casta above. It was Shman and Safu, was Shman and Simpson. Now, unfortunately, Mahama, Bashman and Simpson, Tatu Tikata, they don't have a case. They should call it off and stop wasting our time. Daddy Kakama Kaya.
Perhaps you know, I say, Bob Cook and I'm say, or they and some to Jan far away, UK. Mommy, I'm caught now, memorable audio, Sinibi, Muhammad audio, Sanaban, and I'm saying, Minimre, into audio to be obia the baby. Maybe I show their old friend, no message for audio, bra, and fret. Member say, block our number because that's a bit distracted here. I'm just still now, unless I'm a block number. No, Mr. If you frame me, maybe block because I have about audios. Into for audio, bra, and fret. O frɛ be distracted yeah no enti audio no me the number na to dwa audio no betumi de aba ewo ho.
Daddy, good afternoon. Me ma omoni ejuma we dey me bonitel. Daddy, in fact, NDC for me disappointing one followers ni one members ni pa.
Unfortunately, course be ba mon try me ba 1 second I'll call back, okay? I'm on live program, all right? Enti mon try ha me ba.
Isi echi ekwa demonstration wo mo wu ye sabi wo mo kwase wu. Enti na ejebu ye court NDC for him day one that is say wo mu ni evidence bia eso wo mo dada wo mo krofo. Etu mfuto go many hwenim guase wo mo gu omo e wo Supreme Court. Last week last week esi educate abetena ekunyem I say your friend say mo bi eti ekunyem na ewe no of so uncomfortable because no more Kenya na intro and then you also buy ya so no say nguase we begu no efe de nipa momo say your friends so obebe di adase efe de oyare Ghana for mama yen forget we NDC nia it's time for you say we are watching forget about NDC party they have nothing good to offer Ghanaians when we get there we about nana for that me that say
yenko hay ni ekotie obisodie.
Hello, that the Fred my joy. Apomuti saying Minisenya Miadum who ye Michia knew what tearful nyina. That the Fred. Sa why I couldn't know so why. The Tussa the sister ye didn't talk a figure. The sick Sabi ye didn't talk a figure. Bapa.
Now far away.
Good evening, I say, Sanya Miadum who ye. I bring him because I free UK. And this is for pa the moon kind of crack. I didn't know cranium more faster. I buy ya 2 ye. Radio stations, Nina, sin a name winning. This end this is for one or see, or moon who ye. More court, no more evidence in control, no someone to me a franco. No more say, yeah. No more 2 foot bunny pen, no more money pan in nam. No more says, near man, no more to sink of water. Iti mo yese ye mpanyimfo a moti omemu na mo de pesen kuminya nko na mo pe mo mpo oman ni yedie iti se susu ampa se mo pe Ghana yedie a aka de mo ye mo be ye mo fa evidence mbra so mo ntumi mfamba na mo tutu papa so esi edun ketia papa panyimu na wo yese ye papa panyimu na wo yese wo besa white so as a lecturer wakotena ofensi frɛɛtu na enum goase a wogie nyame betwia mo nyina aka baako mo ti mo pɔ man ni yedi na mo ma ye nyina ya bɔ apitia betata nkɔfo kroso aka Ghana ne ma ɛwɔ hɔ aka ye tukwa nkɔfo man so sɛn kasa be ye twetwe nyina aka ye ne ye ma mo nkoa mo nye sika na mo nkoa mo afa na mo udi aden mo pese hiafo nso bedibi mo ya na ado no mu o man no ma nchirima na dachi obi a menye bindi na ye so le nko yokrom ne ya bere ya ka ya hye dem o sesi a corona nti ya hye dem ye ntumi nya hwe ye se ne ye pe no Ghana fo mpanyimfo adufu diefo mo kwa mo ye die na mo pendisi fo mo ja Ghana wo na Ghana ho nton to na Ghana enya mo
da wase ene wo so wadwe nkyere ye nkwa ha.
Hello, Daddy Fred. Pacho. Oh yeah, Jumapa, Naminsha Webre. Your friend in Anapopia. My contribution kakra may contribute to us way Jumaya we and they say NDC for no. Obia say omuni case bia. If he say and Crawford or year parliamentary candidate or more and so can be no. Crawford NPP for NDC for. just a queer don't conquer for you now, or our moon, you know, and crop for honor. Na utumi.
Sorry.
Utumi kase. Money ya monkwa na Jamen San Fremo say Mumpie na monko kasa into Aquala bank na beka way. Edi atreno. Aquala ben no beka same way. Edi atrena obeti ase. Edi ben message nso e no de man ye friend say electoral commission de man wo say omonko kantre omo candidate. Ye pesi e hu message kro. And now face a moano, monim sabiano, yen ya. Yen bupo bibi yen country en na mamma na suma mo say, monko, because a bill of one sign. Now what suma mo say, mon.
About all the all friend or friend send the message, my why me patch out friend why.
Mo say monko, na monko country mo candidate say. Until omo na what a damn what did I Omo di omo anko country omo candidate say asem say na esi ana say na abem monko amo de no na bibi be mo asem omo kan de odwen ho a wonte ase wo ni case
all right yeah that was say political parties representatives be bring no more obi an complaining na de no monko ha de ne ka kire msem de monko na mo ne mo panifo enko kasa odo so na sem no
Daddy Fred, right here. Good morning. Good afternoon. I hope so. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Maybe the Americans say I'm very, very proud of the NDC's legal team. One case now, very, very solid. On let's say one case now, and then you rubbish their case. Their case is very, very solid. Since 1992, that Ben Yatwa about Ghana, I changed the valid vote to 4 times. 4 solid times. That been since 1992. Yapako tuaba ewa Ghana. Na electoral commission baako. One valid vote to 4. That been si Ghana da. Wa hwenra na ano ewa court. Ebra lawyer akotampa cross examine ye kan say edun ketia. Okay, vote in Nabom Waterchiman South. On the pin sheet, he got 99 over 99,000. You could share pin summary sheet, you see the control on the website one man. Total you vote on Waterchiman South, 97,000. Into what we say this is a or monfa or more coalition bano. They say this, I'm going to use 99,000 Waterchiman South now. And I'm going to use 97,000 we use for website calculation. She's not being very truthful. Not very well. I mean, there are some be a person white. Dr. Person White can be a beginning. Because I use Mammy or no one a catcher you call for more you can't say I want. So I'm going to presidential and parliamentary. After I did change on Quack to a banner, we use Mammy as a catcher almost a winter. Me person white today. Easy mammy, she should be disgraced now. Yeah, bumpire. I had there about witness boss and then say ratachu. I be our master easy mammy with any was it. News as figures or the bar bontin is wrong. Now the bang a declaration wa Ghana since a for Regina Bresso. They be a declaration now. With the media phone in a Mike AC. Easy boss name of Regina Bray or declaration. I will be a radio station, be a mic. It is in a name. Salato saying a declaration. Say radio station, any TV station for be a mic is name. Easy mammy will inquire declaration, but show that the Fred. Radio station need back or crowd mic says mammy will. Now, a brewer, Ubemus and this for so easy mammy no call witness boss. Now you rock a chachu, I get a cross examination. You both as I use in my way, or can of crap, and I will control. Because soon to me, we be a being free statement to me. Now, the country say, I dare 10 years will figure singing, or say a cocoa to figure changing. The Kosha website and so figure changing. Why easy by me back home? Who figures me brave now? May I be a charlotte or say will be a Yamin Shramo. the MPP for Kafa no hu ni na the figures na ye one the figures as a sada.
All right, yeah, that was it. Was so wadwin chire. Obi a ho kwan se o chire na adwene.
Daddy Fred. Good evening, oh. We are Mafias Kapane Kesayu. Maybe some me tell my game Kakrafa a court petition, yes, Supreme Court petition. Near Tiani say, a delay no more delay. Current government, yeah. What is it? And this if one should any evidence be they don't have any evidence. Just say, oh my, say, oh, more disable government here, what is it? By the only and also M1. If we are seeing penny forecast and be say, penny out in a few months, said the form, see a good and carry forward to the marketing. So we are against Oberbo minor brown, so mine and moon out. One said, no one and Honko baby, I'm on top because baby Abercotton and I want to new fee. A high yarn in yet. And he say, I dear almost drop home case, your almost drop, no, your man in Uncle some tempting. Nadia is almost delay, Omunya is almost delay Ghana. And the only no question to me more mine and Kwana which remove. Yanko Pono or can, or ye. When you share box.
But so they offering no, I'm so afraid distracted the air born into me so I'm afraid why. But audio bribe
or one or the air. You know mosquito, Fenum Guasia, Pocogia. Calculate a growl, Bocro, so. At the same time, you'll be so question cry now, home people. A income for energy, you'll be so cry, says a winning answer, more resource, unim. Niamose, only me and I will be a monoso resource, moonim. In the court 1 hour quiet, so one pass a near panel prepare honor. Now, Professor White is so metrum and mechanadia. No crumpodia from frying pan to fire. Say, and Guasian Mugum was I. And the multi offer for him will be obeyed to me. I got the evidence, is any man not palm okay. And any moon for some medium fee, so no man, I would declare a former president as president elect. Nena, the affair or him, I ain't in Gabi. I could before. I am on canopy. That is Fred me as a man. That
was also no wadwin chire.
Daddy Fred, good morning. My man America say make us a fitesses. As American joy no quarter. If you're for how I've been work, I couldn't afford to not good afternoon. My man make us a fitesses. And I pay my share, BBR or called to pay. Now all your more and one there tattoo. Papa penny my lawyer quitting my own woman. All my crime, Madame Semi, well, you know what said Nankasa, Nanny Yamaho. I shall see cut on the winny case, Biara, so I am done a queen. Documents here rigid, me no one lie, I quite boom. Now, I didn't do me who then. Says you need be a more no more this if much not no more do Biara with me. Wasn't the braba? No, what they call court. Now, the Brabant so did court, and not court to phone was saying. Mob, my son, no more quan or rockon. A reina, a year one, yerishan, your bocado, ya just out quay. Mamma, Magana for your montagny. Near one could say, na Sabi, in him yas about to make war mine. Sabi, no one could say, soon I have been aware this small days in any mind. My young Tanyan. My Yagana for any ass from Jenny and Boy, Brias Snow. Mamma and Nandy's if we said look at that and ask free. Mamma, your own training. I some no more cacacia, no more cacacia, that's a movie. Pastor White, you are to what day? I would the meaning in a catch them. What's say or from Obi no can say no quan over him fan. Malanda Samu, the Modic, when I am yelled, they say, Ghana said it doesn't need to be bye bye.
Bye, and I was say, or so a name. Sagana, so dear dance here now would one kind of cry, Jauma, Uko Filia, to me, and chile. Miss messages in the door soon tea.
Daddy Fred.
I'm saying to me, take messages
from you follow program no. Yeah, that was it. Right. I'm say NDC party now. Only one supporters, no. I say state institutional and your more on creating. Can be on the first be a state institutional or message. That is their view. On your modi Supreme Court. Sa normally a means and say you pointed for the appointee no. Pet and normal year student ketia by say or the mammy shia or cockra mammy casa. Oh, they have scandalized the state institution like yeasy. The next is Supreme Court. Also, I'm going for and I go for and I appointing Supreme Court judges, into your mom pay us. Why? Because Ghana now be a lack of knowledge. Nipa school can say apart from leadership, can deep part in any man or Marco school. No. NDC party, I say doctrine, indoctrinatory or even could their so-called intellectuals crack a woman. Son or my junior more. It states to be about the writing. Mummy case ben NDC for the court or marine pain. Omoko court no lose so I'm saying a Kufado judges for near bias. But case beers so a baby organa honor. Case no we are NDC for 19 cock case no normally I reference. Oh, it is a doctrine. Their party is like doctrine, unlike MPP or more discerning. So MPP4 and then can go far or more case Nico yes and Comoca said the cockota. MPP book no crime to Wabisi. I may be more about against it. Send your party near and yet now. And you know, or the same case in a medical court on a incompetent. And this is not like that. They have indoctrinated their followers and are more scandalized the state institution, Electoral Commission.
All right, yeah, to wanna say about 2 minutes. I quite the party. Yeah, but I was say, Yamani Pafroso, Emrasudi.
Daddy Fred, Nyamen Town, anyway, Juma Pa, Uye, Ediboa Ghana. Me pacho mama experience in the Mikasafi France. In fact, your Mahama, ye man penny dada. Why not you say, oh my Ghana, Yana soon be no big Ghana anymore, sir. Minim dear all share every Ghana for her. Na onim say, Abana o nyana, a fufu no, tino ye and hosa no, because we know him say we need that. Or but try your luck. And as I'm ready. When you're on Tabaya, or I saw OD2 no, Jomama, or back 20 times to crawl, but you have born Sulia. Timon Hano, who always Ghana for time kicking. Now, Madame Yan so good Ghana anymore, so international community no anymore. Cook also Jomama, oh, you failure. What me had so move 4 years. Now, why, father? Then you don't ask and I dream we are fine. Obey and I be so, or more be dinner subin. One your chance. One more modern, ain't no, Tananche baby crana dear, or poor money year or the education. Ghana, we need education because education is a key to every door. Nana Kufado or dream or man or into a minor education, no crowd more man a year. Until your mamma tron cry, yeah, me a sick house and costly quincy hobby moon. Until you what they say, your mamma over baby. Daddy Fred, I mean, shroud, your mamma dear, don't forget to crown to Nigeria now or to 2 Boba Park is okay.
Wow, that's what to 2 Boa Eba Park is okay.
Hello, Daddy Fred. A friend man, Grace, in UK. And I remember I said, "Chill me, Grace." Said this before. I making so no woman in my now. Our agreement na follow flats. Said the police will be kind a lockdown. Our agreement na follow flats because nipa me no do buy no post say very, 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 very bad. Now judges no, they have all the patients. They are looking at don't person we can judges go for. Now so unyame na di ni yansa ama wo mo. Go mo share dia kutu tachu unuro. If you come down. And you long argument in emphasis baby as a back 8 yeah. And this is for marry by
okay, yeah, I was say Yanko Hasuna Yanko TA.
hello, Daddy Fred. Yeah, friend me abna me kasa free Canada. Na me so ma din chere kakra. Ana ma sem bisa kakra mpese bisa ne say. Kama na yen declare abana and this for na ka so marry now. Person who baby omunya am calculation ni fee. And I almost court to use almost say, Obi and win. And that's what I say, who will be on calculation because I can't think far.
I can't think
You
far.
saw, but more than almost a question, Mama. Why?
Yeah, when I this is my suma mini abad or say, when to think far, the calculations be chilling at you and in say, and this is for Modi can be press conferences. I would be breach. I say, Mo, Namawine aban. A big crack, I say, Moko jubilate. Ave race what most are called to say, Obia win. And in your ban is ultimate think far, say, ain't here adventure. Anyway.
Hello, good evening, Daddy Fred. I'm somewhere afternoon and I'll be beside. Daddy, me no me can say, some crofo we mom, and this is for us our cruise now, ye know model. Near me when say they were naturally born bad and trained with lies. They were born bad and trained with lies. As I said, I didn't know be beyond the face a quantum ponqua and their courtroom. Quantum ponqua. One friend is and cross our second weakness, Nemra. Me refugee kakra second weakness, no better na box no more. Can some of kind sign no is no personally when one face to face. Na ni colleague no na beka kire say ni colleague na the message ni brain no say was wo mo come Mahama ho ne fa you could see first was say we were asked to go later was instructed and no cry no two different you can say definitions which is which in normal part one share audio ya wo boss see a de kire that is Fred the other man no ekasa no or say yes, in a good face, and catch that woman. She told us. Now yes, only a little general, and I used to catch that woman. And now no better, that can no box no say or no, and the no newbie. Now the colleague never catch no. Say, well, audio now boy, no so the other guy knows say he told us, me and my colleague, say we should send a message to our candidates. So because I send a message to your candidates, Daddy, the amendment here say, and no you people have to leave the place. Now Monko Mahama no straight, Monko no direct. I mean Monko no personal, and answer Monko no direct. Or say you should send a message to your candidates. And by doing so, no, more to me a friend, one I must see a son on phone. I couldn't call here. And you find mom from charges and what you say will be that. And then me one baby, I'm going to be 2 days. More from charges and call. Ya friend on to Anna, over to me so cry. I can't say, what's any message a quackoma will be a send you can't say telephone calls. I'm over ya. Want to me send email and I say, can't say fast and I say audio voice. So, and to all person which I say, baby, I know more. One man now be a charge and point fan charge you won't be a phone. Baby, I know more, and a lot of people were there. Say, telephones are baby, you shoot the same charger. Maybe charger SN, I mean, cut off for an hour, whatever. Make me and not baby, and I said, me, be around. Namaste, Nama, they are charging me. What you say? When the professor would intro. So I can't say you people should send a message to your candidate. And not stress or instruct someone say or insist say. I'm on call candidate, no personally.
All right, and you better was still of a chair and running to know. You will be a DS, Mammy, and you better was.
Hello, Daddy Fred. Good morning. Daddy Fred, maybe I can transfer my person, can say. I believe say NPP lawyers in the no more relax it too much, because our case we so far in the case you do grano. I wasn't commodity motion, I was saying dismissing this case in grab because would you make teacher due to videos on what bonny name Simitie ni see do ketia kan Samijan fee ni onwa Mahama no announce ye nka. The question is me play video we me busa wo mo. We have seen ketia busa wo se papers no numbers ni unim number busa ni Mahama nyaa unim Akufo dia unim the total dia unim ho hwe but yet no video chese what gina ho declare say Mahama wini mo wini parliament mo say enti ne na explain the paperwork bay and a wugina so a wo declare and na paperwork bay na or they say Samijan figina so it me declare say president elect wo mo aka nyina paperwork mo so say amoso ni paperwork afi na mo paperwork no this paperwork na mo mutimi digina so edi prove a mutimi insight public say wo mo konko ye jubilation in hu kwaniban mon famra I think say it's time NPP lawyers move to motion to this, discredit this case, to reject this case even out of the court.
All right, yeah, but that was say also what doing today. Minutes in here, 5 minutes, Mon fan chain and no the into me a more long
Hello, Daddy Fred, my Joe, Obako Kony. Because NBC for the moon in our bomb free a tree ecosity. Acquire Obeka as a sea when you near warrior. What a land in a wood jelly passion. Kogana, no court would be a challenge. What? Anyone say Muna would get our okay can. What's some common?
For some corn, what the I had you. Maybe. Okay, into share na yankoha.
Hello, Daddy Fred at this time. You saw when you men come when you map away. And this is what they said. One more dancing near on whatever. So coronavirus natural said you. Chessa, and some say bassa. A brofwakes here. Furthermore, chubum. Maybe I saw so. Daddy, Mamina, before
before the enchebo. Hey, yes, ceremony.
Good evening, from Mustafa. Dr. Albert witness Bushman or Cassandra. No, can we say a man? Omumi no omo kuleti bibia kama inside bibia kama until so asante reading the buy no eno na omo eye call ibisa from head office na say do the church say can kwa so omo sign because omo biom enti me hu ni say I think say I say do the na catch say omo asante reading results na buy no it show clearly say nanado ayede awene anything na omo use our strategy and say yenye fa kwanu senior fancy easy boss in so na pam ye free on. I think say NDC for no I don't know why you are somebody said that you say be am should I treat time start time I saw mu say Ghana nyomo dia o Ghana na idea so idea is me case kwa am should I na mana case. So in any case, man na okra na ono no ka no no. I don't know no so all man metan boxing. O ma fa na nyom witness ni. So we see easy boss. Enti easy boss means when me John mama number say bi you ho person in discuss with my friend na o e na obesuma o. Obi a wo hwa abato so no obesuma say ko free stay. Ko ni John mama ko kasa. And this information
Assembly wa wo hwa abato so no obesuma.
Hello, Daddy Fred. Patrol me kasa free London. Me patrol. NTC for say easy onye credible. Yo, yajatum. Me person me busa say esi eduketia oye credible. Or being for white oye credible. Asem me nwi na person me busa. Nkofo me nu mbe ye witnesses. Daddy Fred. You are credible. Okay. Say you define credible no my why?
All right.
Because that is
credible. With a young compare dictionary and I say young compare calculator your dictionary. Or say define a credible no na onti because idea say open meaning of credible no to define into more bang more dictionary no move to me afana match the definition.
Hello, Daddy Fred. Mpacho
make a safi UK within the coffee. Okay. In particular, and then ACM, and I'm pretty much some kakra. Okay. Next year, no, may tear NDC full be a war, NDC full platform. Will can't say this affected. I won't cut in someone any. But the person may declare, and the more crowd, no one is in trouble with it, you know, or Mamma Quai, Emma Ubia Fre Ankasa. Okay. Name you see what court will say. I won't pass out what you say. Yay, MPP for no any easy. You see, you cross 50+1 and the threshold. They are, and the year origin from that. So, we won't say, who can say somewhere? That means what doing a huratra. What did they correct? Because MPP for no sorry, so court. This is sorry, so court. Now MPP sorry, so court. A year NDC in the sorry, court. NDC for the Muslim Tiasio. You declare President Akufo-Addo as president. Until more NDC for no, what I want to say, and I'm going to use any Nanado Akokot. Okay? It you know, yes, you want to declare Nanado say or a president, you know, who no NDC, no, who are two options, either to concede or to go to court. Who say, who go court because, and then, it would have a court, a country. NPP, NEC, other court, no. Here I say I didn't pick a study show. In the very first place, you know, that is right. That person can say, oh, I know what I can say. Oh, dear, no, oh, yeah, the threshold 50+1. Okay. And then, that's a question, and the way, yeah, who say, oh, candidates, you know, oh, dear, 50+1. And then, a question. Into a question, why, yeah, I just say, Obiara ni 50+1 no. Ese utumi di back, would the back court no. Ma court no who say, oh, calculation when we hear empty and the way no. Nansana empty because the woman diaba. And I say, yisi and the woman diaba. Eti enye fine. Enye MPP. Any easy. And that's what the original so all
right, yeah, to us now say into enye MPP any easy. Now was say omo original no eba. Message is in the door so
so Fred.
Mova and chemi yentima money na mo fanche ye pa.
Oyama Ghana for. Ne omani nyina nyame hia no onyo kese na wonchi mu adam ni de nyina wode be kire wo ma. Kakra meka afa court in some hu is kakra bi. De wo mu ni say ohwe nkro mo bo court ho na. Mr. Mahama anasa o mampani a wotwem Mahama oni case bia e wo court.
Root dachi him or Denmark. Root me share be a root special.
Adena over evidence. So also court obi enu court asem pages or connen sapanda. And then logic and answer 7 pages nyansem no. Odwene ho a wonti ase o court at least so utimi nya bibi dina so be say ade wenti na me court. Na fe ko do court na say ochina say na say ochina say. Kaka mekama omampani Mahama atene ho ase ne say tebe Ghana no. Nyane maamedia ene nyane papa dia. Obi enwu yewe emfa Ghana enhye ne nsasa ye ne dia. Ana sebe Ghana ho no nkoni nyansani owo ho. Ana sebe Ghana ho so no nkoni ni power bobra. Ye won crofo sebe pregas omo tie no. Omo tie no kra, omo tie no. Enti di omo ye no munyai. Oni case a omo draw case no. No kope be ntina. Na Ghana dum na se Ghana e de be epeja adan na mpesa mo hijack Ghana.
Mohajaki Ghana aden ya bremo ukokota so nye nyina so uni nyina so ayen kokoto de mu ye nyina chese mu ni nyina so bi aden na mu disable ye ah that's a penny na me sha
that's a family. All right, Jumade mo share live YouTube, the announcer newspaper YouTube, Facebook, the announcer newspaper Facebook.
And sorry, what the one comment and analysis about what, in my opinion, it looks that they just give themselves away as the most low-minded people, but to them, no so. So far as that they are within NDC, they are the intellectuals. Because the what's the change is changing maybe 4 times. 4 times the time. The time and dates when she changed the declaration 4 times. The time and me Ghana. O change the phone no biara answer can you poko na la that and this for once I go share me there mo be that the ones I go shimpo you when they have no shame, guilt and shame, no, they just lie because that is their because money be declare results without Techima. And so yes, NDC intellectual because I say Techima that ones I go call you when you what the ones I go shut down to be you don't know, you don't just can't find the adjective that really befits them. What they are so disgusting. Oh, NDC is a worry. Why they said you obia kwako taza. Obia kwako febinaz no kache pokunda damazi me botai or you sick. Nazi no was okay or you fake. Fabra na me should be your original. No say me fake naso what the matter or you sick. Evidence no you know that I turn with pokun or you fake. Me naso or you sick into original. Pathetic. Then why will we get somebody who can reason as a mature person amongst the NDC? When are we going to have it? And where be declare it? Now what do you use my agua? The background the law. Jane Lester is a lawyer. It's in my way anti-business go NDC now. What who or be a walk where we were friend, what can the name invest where baby no was champion? Jane Lester the background the law. And say most intellectuals were in this Pomucho. I am more cassa, more add maturity. And fan corner monk off and one thing a massy. I see that Pastor White they say do and can say Robertson away. It's so sad there. There's even a political party called NDC in a country like Ghana. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's a question Munjezi. And but we're changing 4 times. Yeah, twice. I think not by Obakade or then to a validate. Also, Obakakuna, Sambakakuna, Sambakakuna, Sambakakon. In what sense? What do you question? No Magana, in how a gun or botum. And you guas no abon or good to Sulaba. Now, Tachichikata, your name, damn old fashion loan on it this time, what is in Brewa. On a loan on Sabuta, Nadia, Jane Mesa, Mania, Monica Crane in home. To my yet Tachichikata, he will feel like nothing standing over there. Ridiculous.
Yeah, Nabutre, Babs, Nabutre. Jumade share live YouTube, the announcer newspaper. So, me sabe audio ba kunba bo video ba kun. Na audio na me bebo no, me di kan ya bo. Rojo metal nunu. Rojo ena edi kan be kan ye. Say electoral commissioner Jimen's akachire wono any doctor Percy why say womunko na womune electoral commissioner enko kasa no mun free them ho. Your questions in say nanti money phone omunko no money Mahama enko kasa. Enti na money phone say money Mahama betima kasa o phone so. Na mo charges nyina anywa. Na ye den na mutime ne mo party representatives no communicate. And only another point. Mutina homa Mahama. na electoral commissioner be catch him say monko na mon free baby am won na moni Mahama nko kasa na mo free baby am won e brother political party representatives wo na free am free capacity as there nti ba akopɛ ntimi nko e ma ne nka ba ako say Dr. White Beka say enya wono e na electoral commissioner e ka kire no Rojo Metununu so Rojo say no and this Dr. White and electoral commission a catcher. So which is which?
But Jean Mensah, the electoral commissioner, has not shown good faith. She told me and the other colleague I had, Professor White, to send a message to John Mahama.
I don't know what she told me and the other colleague I had, NOB reporter, we say, I don't know. Dr. White was yes. I don't know what Doctor is about to know that can you or senior and your catcher, Jojo Nkwa. Juma Demotion Live, our YouTube, the announcer newspapers on Facebook, the announcer newspapers. Yet to obey Omunian Ria Batuan. I will be number ball resource, no, not NDC, among your quasha, see, declare most of your winners. Or Masha, say, Fred Mahama, president elect. Or more catch on supporters or more economical jubilate. Or Mama for Quabontin, ye did they were bonting, no Mahama, no peace, no Mahama, no peace. A binum cosses a niama, a binum coye, niama be and fata, e will crum abonting. Yet to abano electoral commissioner Eben Ansui. Ghana for him some more court, no Mahama, no peace na. A binum cracker say, or Mahama declare no president. Money no evidence, Ebeko. Mahama the Betu just said. Or no collecting evidence in Yana, and the when Yano even Chachima and Crano, or more asa winning. And this Amano quo and the figures to two jack excellence or man winning this margin. Almost quarter you we almost say Ubia winning. Now Ubia 50%. After this, it was your monk can be as a Mahama and I winning elections. Mummy reflecting, reflecting our mind. Now you're reflecting back. Near Shania is see.
Thank the electorate for giving us a working majority in Parliament. 140 seats in Parliament, which is a majority. And no attempt should be made to subvert that. I've looked at the results we've collated so far, and I'm excited, I'm happy with the results. And we won in 10 regions out of 16. And the Ghanaian people have expressed confidence in us. We would resist any attempt to subvert the will of the people.
Have won this election by some 6,166,385, and that constitutes 50.15%.
Allow me to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to you for your tremendous support, which you expressed overwhelmingly and convincingly at the polls. There's no doubt that Ghanaians from every region of this great nation of ours voted for change. And we did so in both the presidential and parliamentary elections.
He has won 141. That puts us in a clear majority and will be giving President Mahama the needed majority in Parliament to be able to conduct his business as president. What the clear majority...
Presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, who is the president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will address the nation and speak to issues pertaining to the presidential results declared by the Jim Mensah Bosmanasare-led Electoral Commission. That's announcement number one. Announcement number two is that the MPP still has parliamentary majority as we speak. The NDC, the National Democratic Congress, is still holding on to its parliamentary majority, as our General Secretary stated. As we speak, we know that we have won 140 seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, our collation so far indicates that our presidential candidate, President John Dramani Mahama, is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission will very soon come out to declare him the next president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
Let me repeat. Let me use this opportunity to, as a matter of urgency and importance, call on the outgoing president, President William Akufo-Addo, to concede defeat in the interest of our sovereignty, in the interest of the sanctity of our democracy, in the interest of the very people that he claimed he wants to fight for. He must concede defeat, and it's very important. Let me
declare presidential results. Apart from chairperson of Electoral Commission. But Ntiasia Esemunyane say Electoral Commission no onfa presidential results no free soro emesi form. Every the various polling stations. Polling station bia nso ye declare results no. And the results are actually declared at the polling station. It is a Electoral Commission for declare no ho na wo copies ya. Okay, can you see animu a wusu timi hu figures ya eko nationally. Enti ya ka say figures ya pick from Electoral Commission polling stations across the country no kire say President Mahama odi animu a obedi nkunim. Na the AC ewo parliamentary level no de enye ye ne aye ye ne aka results are pick from Electoral Commission returning officers ya wo mo declare yankofo no winners already no 141 de yansaka enu nti ne ka say control parliament enti no
On this note, let me announce to all our supporters that you are free to jubilate. Chobe, you are free to express your excitement because the NDC is forming the next government of the Republic of Ghana.
Adolfo say some Mahama who be ewo masum. Maxi bi o masum who be o maniso. Sema NDC amanyoko leadership on the two ja. Ebra na Electoral Commission or the results on the buy no mo nsema mo so e kan ye eno no. Ye mo ba bani nyina mo press conferences I would run no mo ye no ba hu bi. O mo kwa bonti no mo ko jubilate. Meanwhile so mo obi ara we na elections no e pie. Enti wa win the election so nkrofo nkonko jubilate say omadi nkunim. Mo nkontompo. Sa na omo ye. Enti the omo Supreme Court ye na nyanwa because omo anim say omatwa nkontompo a kire Ghana fo e wo say omo jia no. Enso we de ekoso. Omo nim na egu ase no. Enti madam ase say mo join me e wo programming. Ye twemo. I said you get to ask evidence. I would have been no I say Fako Supreme Court never a coach. One of the messages by ya meant to me, more my mention or the meet me. Meant to me, I'm be and Mamma Hamo, Millennium Tia me pa auntie. Madam say, me did the daddy friend. You made a motion my life. Ever YouTube, the announcer newspaper, ever YouTube. At the same time, Facebook, motion live, ever the announcer newspaper, ever Facebook. Will be able to me a subscribe to YouTube, me a subscribe. See me a subscribe. Na like a page and say, Babiana, Ubenya home quine now, so I should be now so wet me actually wadrone. Tell us your best baby, me added daddy Fred. A radinka will be a honafi, ye momodena, the echoes be ano, Ghana my muhu, the echoes are bringing a macram.